Like this. Huh? Hey, I came a long ways, stayed on the ground in them highways. Other side would be blissing on all plays. They ain't want me to make it, they cows hate. If it's money, I can't let the cow wait.
Yo, what up? Before we get into the episode, I want to talk to you guys about this right here. This is Feel Free by Botanic Tonics. It is a plant-based herbal supplement made of kava and kratom. Its main uses are for productivity, and it gives you like a flow state type of energy, very calm energy. It's also an alcohol alternative, so if you want to go out and have fun, it's good for that, and it's a social lubricant as well. So if you want to check it out, go to botanictonics.com, use promo code KEEVEN40 for 40% off. That's botanictonics.com. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? I'm Matt Womack, owner of 13 Roses Tattoo. Born and raised St. Louis, Missouri. Grew up in North County. Florissant kid. My childhood growing up, it was back before cell phones. I'm 41 years old, so when I was a kid, we just spent our time riding bikes and hitting trails and just screwing around. Played outside most of the time. I really didn't even start thinking about anything other than that when I was a kid. Just have fun and be active. Lots of sports. Played baseball, basketball. Kept me busy year round. I first was really getting into tattooing when I was a teenager and just realizing that there's a whole world out there of people that are covered head to toe with tattoos and just got to reflect what they wanted to by the way they looked and their choice. So I knew it was something that I wanted to be, covered in tattoos, and it was a dream that I could actually be the one doing them, and it worked out that way. I feel like the doubt was well before I was even tattooing, getting turned away from some apprenticeships and just not really knowing which direction to go and how to really get in. I got a call from a friend who was, first he started tattooing and hit me up, but I was, not in the right headspace to where I was even thinking that it was an option. And then he called me up again a few years later and was like, I'm opening my own place. And I was like, it's the perfect time. So I took the jump and, knew it was the right thing right off the bat. Every day being able to create something and make a living out of it, take care of my family, enjoying what I do all day, every day, being in a place that I built and have other people here that are creative and just we all mesh together so well. It's just, been a blessing. For me, it's just being happy with what I do and the people around me. Success, there's no number on success. It is just how you feel. And right now I feel like I'm pretty successful. I got a happy, healthy family, beautiful wife, great job, business that I can take care of other people and they provide for their families. It doesn't get any better than that. I would probably say get your shit together. You could have been doing this 10, 15 years before you did. Instead of just having fun and thinking that that was the only thing that mattered. You could have pushed harder, started a lot sooner. I fear, not being able to do something that I love all day, every day, and having to go back to, I guess you'd say, like the real world with a real job, but the fear is what pushes you. So if you get too comfortable, the fear is coming because there's going to be change. So you got to keep pressing and moving forward, keep the flow state going. Everything, it leads to the next move with it. And, if you're not afraid, then you're not pushing. Learning to do things alone is probably one of the best things if you're trying to find a way to push yourself to go harder. Everyone can show you something, but to make it your own, you have to figure it out on your own. But it is a hard push. Everyone goes through the phase to where you feel like you're stuck and you do need help. And so don't be afraid to ask for it, but just know that it's your own process and you're gonna figure it out one way or another. I find growth, in just pushing each day, trying to be better than you were the day before. I can look back at my portfolio, and it's like the best way of seeing the growth on it is, even though you've been doing it 13 years, you can look back at 3 years and see you're doing stuff now that you weren't doing then because you keep pressing. It's a creative challenge. It's awesome. I feel like it keeps you sharp. The end goal is to eventually not tattoo as much, but I couldn't imagine not tattooing. I know there'll be a time and point where my body doesn't want me to anymore, but I still love it and cherish the thought that I get to do it daily. Ideally, though, it would be nice to have the shop be running tattoo a day or two a week, move on to some other ventures, see what retirement might be, but none of it's anytime soon. Still having too much fun. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was in all the art classes, and my mom was super helpful on letting me be the creative and getting me into these classes and taking me places to where I could learn new stuff. And so yeah, I've been drawing and painting and creating since I was young. High school, I kind of fucked that off, but was still enjoying art class. I just kind of did my own thing and went from there to the unsure college and hit the community college scene. Realized that there's a whole art department full of stuff that I could mess with. So I quit doing regular classes, literally just signed up for all art and just had studio space. It gave me like 3 years just to, find something that clicked and, develop some base skills on top of just, meeting a bunch of creative minds. I feel like that really pushed forward on I knew for sure I wanted to do something to where I get to create for a living. And after that, I started doing t-shirts and clothing, custom stuff for shows, murals in people's houses trying to make a buck, but always ended up having to go back and get a real job at some point. And then I got that call from Big Mike and quit all the real job shit and started doing tattoos and slinging pizzas during an apprenticeship. And that was about it. I wanted to open my own shops once I first started, but I knew I didn't have, what I needed to. I didn't know how the business should run. I didn't know, how to tattoo for shit at the time. So I knew it wasn't the time. You couldn't, be there to help other people if you couldn't help yourself at all. And so, I waited till I was at a comfortable space to where I knew I had more to give back to other people, by doing it on my own and then just working for someone else. So, I made that jump, opened this in 2019 with a friend of mine, Wes. We were doing it for about 11 months and then he passed. And so it's just been me for the last two years, trying to sit in this corner with my head down, creating all day, but also knowing that, I got the responsibility of 10 others and their families too to keep it going. So, it's a lot, but it's very rewarding. So 13 Roses, it's kind of, it happened by wordplay, honestly. When I first opened the shop, or was opening the shop, it was gonna be SPSC. And, it stood for Skull and Profit Social Club, which is one of the brands that I've been messing around with for some years. And I realized that I'm going into a neighborhood that didn't allow tattooing, so I had to get the zoning changed and go up in front of city council. And I thought that they probably wouldn't understand Skull and Profit Social Club. It doesn't sound as inviting to your neighborhood. So I started doing the columns of wordplay and just things that meant something to me with tattooing. 13's the lucky, unlucky number for us tattooers. Roses are timeless. They played nice, so it won.